Hey everybody, welcome to Neil Talks. My name's Neil and it's time to talk person of interest. And we're here after a long first season. We are at the season 1 finale and I am psyched because this show's taken some very intriguing turns in the last third of the season. We've strayed away from just the straight person of the week formula that's typical of network TV, and we've started really layering in the intrigue. We don't have a single grand protagonist. We've got so many competing forces at work here between the CIA and the FBI and the NSA. Obviously, Finch and Reese. There's other entities out there, whether it's HR, Elias, Root. How does it all come to a head this season? Well, the two most prominent storylines at the moment, in my mind, are Stanton is alive, and she's in New York, and she killed Snow's partner, and she's got Snow injured, and she has a lot of catching up to do. And then we have this NSA agent. I'm blanking on her name now, but she was present when Snow sent Reese and Stanton to China to collect this laptop, which is somehow related to the machine, whether it's a portable version or it's an NSA knockoff of Finch's original, or whether it's a Chinese version, or unclear. But she was actively involved in sending them to China, and also we know that Snow separately gave them orders to kill each other, Stanton and Reese. So no one is supposed to know about this machine, and it's worth killing 2 CIA operatives to make sure that happens. So what is that machine exactly? Because we also know that this NSA agent, after that, she fled to like the one place in America that doesn't have cell service, doesn't have internet. She went off the grid, but she's now back in New York. She's surveilling Finch and Reese, and this one NSA operative last episode who stumbled upon the machine at work, in inserting names into his reports that lead to terrorists being taken off the board. To quiet him, Finch told him the truth, that he built the machine. And now this NSA operative, she knows the truth. She knows it wasn't just Nathan that built the machine, that he was just the face of IFT, and that Harold Finch was behind the scenes. Is she an antagonist? Is she someone here to help? Really hard to tell whose side everybody's on. Everybody's got their own interests. Everyone's the hero in their own story. So this isn't a story about good guys and bad guys. This is a story about competing interests. And I like that. I like that complexity, especially from network TV. It's not typical, but there's a reason you guys recommended this show to me. Of course, it's not a typical procedural. Of course, there's something extra to it, and I'm feel like I'm just starting to get a taste of what that extra is, and I'm really curious to see how we tie this season off. What bombshells we drop to bring us back for season 2. Yeah, I'm just excited to jump into this, guys. So let's do that. This is episode 23 of season 1, and it's called Firewall.
I'll be there as soon as I get finished here.
I hate to be rude, but it's an emergency, detective. We need you now.
I need you to come with me now.
But I have this thing.
Not anymore, you haven't. All criminals, however clever, eventually trip themselves up.
Jeez, they got a whole task force here.
Man in the suit. We got him.
Okay, so this isn't something we left last episode off on. What's happened? Oh, we're gonna rewind. Okay. Let's go back 2 days.
Caroline Turing. Her online profile is carefully managed.
Think she's got something to hide?
Many things I would expect. She's a psychologist.
Get close to her. See if you can work out where the threat is coming from.
She could be the threat, Finch.
I'm sure you'll work that out, too.
Okay, that guy in the foreground is relevant. Alan Turing, any relation?
Plus, Carter keeps giving me the stink eye. Now, we need to wrap this thing up.
And we will, Lionel. When I say so. Get back to me when you got something.
The things I've told you.
Anyone else heard them? That could be a big problem.
Understand?
For whom, Hans?
Oh,
Councilman Lawson.
some familiar faces.
Captain Lewis.
Pick the shooter, Simmons.
My guys are all solid. Fusco here will run interference with homicide, in case there's any questions.
Okay. So, does the client want her dead, or is it someone else?
HL's going to the murder for hire business.
You know the targets?
It's that lady shrink you asked me to look into.
Yeah.
48 hours, and she's dead.
It's not going to be that simple. Well, who wants her dead, first of all? Someone rich, that's all we know. But why?
Time for you to work through some of your issues, Mr. Reese.
Become a patient?
I was told I could count on your discretion.
My clients are private people. I respect that. And I will protect it at all cost.
Lady after my own heart.
It is Amy Acker.
What is it you're afraid of?
It's funny. I was gonna ask you the same thing.
Me?
You have a panic button installed under your desk.
Hypervigilant, aware of your surroundings.
You're saying I'm paranoid.
Is that what you think? Former military? You see the world differently than most, don't you? Tell me, do you feel the need to protect people? To save them?
You could say that. Oh, who's following Finch? Yeah, there she is. What's her name? I'm blanking on her character name. Is
Mr. Reese,
this...
I managed to get a read
Yeah.
on that escrow account that's funding HR. Someone with tremendous means wants Caroline Turing gone. I've enlisted the aid of an old friend to help us figure out who.
Uh-huh.
Hello, Zoe.
Good to hear you're getting some help.
Everyone's coming
But I don't
back.
think there's a woman out there alive that could fix you, John.
You know any of her patients?
A few. Hans Friedrichsen,
Yep.
the lawyer that threatened her. Banker named Terrence Baxter. Rumor is he's being investigated for Ponzi scheme. There's David Sarkeesian. He's a prominent city official.
Looks like our shrink is sitting on a powder keg of secrets.
We're on.
Heading your way.
Hello, Doc.
John, John, this is not okay.
You're a
Are you
creepy, inappropriate
following
stalker.
You think there's something lurking around every corner, but there isn't, John.
Well,
Go home. Try to get some sleep.
well, he's not just gonna let her go. Kneecap, kneecap, kneecap.
Let's go.
All right. I like that we're honestly at this point. I'm so glad we lean into the kneecaps. It's so absurd. I love it.
Let me guess. Tall guy in a suit.
Yeah.
That's bad news for you, my friend.
The only room we have available is the honeymoon suite.
We'll take it.
Did he get shot?
Working on an escape route for you, Mr. Reese.
Appreciate it.
Great. Now you're hearing voices.
Not exactly.
Let me guess, I have to cancel my dinner.
All right, we're here already.
Our mutual friend needs help, Detective. He's downtown.
I'll be there as soon as I get finished here.
I hate to be rude, but it's an emergency, Detective. We need you now.
So what's the FBI got?
Who would want to kill me?
Someone with the means and the money to hire a team to get rid of you. Sound like any of your patients?
A lot of them.
All of them. Who the hell are you?
Let's just say we both help people cope with their problems. I'm just a little bit more,
Hands-on.
hands-on.
She's a little too damsel in distress for me right now, and I feel like there's a layer to be revealed.
Surprised to see you here, Fusco.
You know me, I like to be where the action is.
Better.
I feel like being out in the open, even if it's on a balcony, is not a great idea.
Need some help, Finch. HR just found us somehow.
How do you feel about helicopters?
Been a while since I've flown.
Tracking a chopper over New York City's gotta be relatively straightforward.
NYPD's gonna sit this one out. Send in our teams.
Yes, sir.
Alright, we're standing NYPD down, which is going to be a complicating factor for HR. Okay, they found the room.
Is this making up for someone you didn't save?
I thought we were done with therapy. Follow me.
FBI's got their own chopper.
You said you'd tell me when to panic. I'm guessing now's the moment.
We're getting closer.
There's an old service tunnel. It leads out to the old water treatment plant at the seaport. I'll pick you up there.
Ugh, and he's still being followed. She's persistent. I feel like she's going to end up being an ally, though. Or is she going to break into the building?
We're gonna take them both out.
How the hell are we gonna take them out with the feds on top of us?
We got a guy on the inside that's gonna feed us their location, take care of the cameras.
Okay, so they're counting on Fusco, which isn't going to do well for them.
We're gonna corner them, blow the whole floor.
What puts Fusco
Look like
at
you
risk?
did it.
They're going to blow the floor.
Impersonating a prosecutor?
They forced me to pretend I was this Hans guy, threatened some shrink.
Who forced you?
I swear I don't know.
Is this still
It
Elias?
was all over email. They knew everything.
Or is there a dark machine out there? And a dark Finch and Reason? How did she get in so easy?
Got word they're on the freight elevator. You can cut them off at 25.
Who's giving word? Was that Fusco? Yeah, Fusco.
I think I owe you an apology. I diagnosed you as paranoid.
Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not trying to kill you.
Mm-hmm. Who's feeding HR info right now? They're talking like it's Fusco, but there's no way Fusco's doing this to Reese.
Where are we at, guys?
We are good to go, boss.
All right.
Oh, he's there at the center too, so he could be feeding them. Okay.
Get ready to move.
On your count, Simmons.
5.
In a bit of a bind, Harold.
Here comes the boom.
2.
So many moving pieces.
Now.
Go.
What did Finch just do?
Did
Did we just take down every cell tower?
Team, move in.
We just killed every cell
Move now,
tower?
you're gonna lose them.
Got it.
She's awfully
Every cell tower
tech
south of
handy.
Canal Street just went out. Only authorized numbers can use them. In this case, only one number.
Whose number?
What's this guy doing?
Oh.
Thanks for the help, Carter.
Someone's feeding HR intel about your whereabouts.
Oh, so she's still
I'm gonna take care
connected
of
too. How?
What the hell, Carter?
Hang up the phone and hand it to me. You're working for HR. Who were you talking to?
None of your business. What the hell do you think you're doing? You gotta trust me.
I want answers. Now.
Can we talk this out?
The guy in the suit, the one you've been chasing. Look, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but they seem to know when people are in trouble. And they help him. He's like a professor. He's got the glasses and a high-dollar vocabulary. That's who I was talking to when you came in.
You got some explaining to do, Finch.
I understand you'll have some questions, but we're somewhat short of time. I'm heading downtown to help our friends suggest you do the same thing. John will almost certainly need your help.
Alright, finally
You son of a bitch.
Finally, Carter and Fusco know each other. So who hired this guy to pretend to be the prosecutor? Is it the same people who were going after her? There are so many moving pieces right now.
Keep going until you find my friend. I'll hold him off. Go.
Thank you.
I think I'm gonna be a little held up.
I'll get Miss Turing to safety, and I'll come back for you.
Harold Finch, I presume.
I don't know who you...
Save it. We met before.
What do you want from me, Alicia?
Nothing complicated. You created God. And now, you're gonna help me shut it down.
She wants to kill the machine. Okay.
Looks like you're just about out of time, my friend.
Time for Carter and Fusco. Oh, they must have seen Fusco. Like, he's out of HR now. He's gonna have a target on his back.
Before Nathan died, before your machine killed him,
The machine killed him?
I thought he was fighting with himself over it, but he was fighting with you. The hubris of creating something as powerful as the machine. Watching us. Listening to us. There's no hiding from it. I'm so tired of running.
You haven't been running from the machine, Alicia. And the machine didn't kill Nathan. You've been running from people. From people that you and I both trusted.
And you're lucky I found you first.
Where is Turing?
You almost got me killed. Can't trust us, how are we supposed to trust you?
Trust is complicated, Lionel. Slow down, Carter.
Slow down. These two know they're going down for life. They'll kill anybody who gets in their way.
I got this.
They still have the explosive in their trunk, don't they? He just took the detonator. Good. Oh, they got the full rotation. Good stunt gag.
We should all grab a drink together sometime. My treat.
Who's he? Oh, it's a magazine. She's a front. Is she Root? Is she setting up her own hit to get close to Finch and Reese?
You were willing to pay corrupt police officers to target an innocent woman just to draw me out.
What are
No.
you talking about?
The machine, you know how it works. The irrelevant list. You knew it would send us Turing's name if you put her in danger.
Irrelevant list. I didn't need to lure you out. I've been following you for weeks.
Yeah. Oh! And she's dead. Root.
So nice to finally meet you, Harold. You can call me Root.
Yeah, Turing. It's a computer name.
She was the one who paid HR. She put the hit on herself. She was trying to lure you out into the open.
She wasn't looking for me. She was looking for him.
This makes sense why you cast Amy Acker.
Let me down. We've got so much to talk about.
So what does she want with the machine? She's dead. And they're gone. So we have to rescue Harold for start of season 2. Alright. Fusco just reported HR to the FBI. He's not getting away with it. Yeah, Harold's MIA. And Reese doesn't know how to use the machine.
So you're gonna help me get him back.
Evaluating options. Let's just talk directly to the machine. Are there still payphones in New York at this stage?
Stay tuned for scenes from our next episode.
No, let's not see what happens in season 2, please. That's a great season finale, guys. That's everything you want in a season finale. We put HR to rest. We introduce Root. She's got this massively complicated, trusting scheme in place where she puts a hit out on herself to draw out Finch and Reese, all in an effort to find Finch himself. Because she knows about the machine. She knows how it works, and she clearly wants to know more about it. But to what ends? It doesn't feel good. It feels nefarious. It feels like she wants to use it in some other way that isn't nearly as honorable as the way Finch and Reese have been using it. And I like that we tease how next season's going to start, because obviously Root has Finch. He's MIA right now. And Reese has to find and rescue Finch, but how? Because Finch has been keeping him at an arm's length from the machine itself, from how it works. That's still a mystery to Reese, but Reese knows enough that maybe he can, quote, talk to the machine, and it seems like the machine at this stage is practically an AI, and it is reaching out to him on that payphone at the very end. That's great. I love that finally Carter and Fusco know about each other. It was a fairly quick come around to realize they were on the same team. I was kind of hoping that they dragged that out a little bit more, but okay, they now know, and that's exciting because they get to be our team on the inside for season 2. It changes their dynamic. That the suspicion is gone, but now, yeah, how did they work things out? I'm super interested. So many moving parts in this episode. One of the things I'm really appreciating about this show is so often when you have a crime procedural, it feels like such a small universe, and a lot of that's just because shows don't want to have a cast of hundreds. You don't want the writing to become overly complicated. You want to make the show accessible to a large audience. You want to keep things relatively simple. You want to have good guys and bad guys and not much in between. And we're eschewing that. We're making this complicated. We've got the FBI. The CIA didn't even show up in this episode. I could have sworn that they'd have been somehow involved in the season finale after everything we've seen with Snow up to now. We brought Zoe back this episode. We took down HR, which surprises me. I thought they'd have been kicking around for multiple seasons. But we kind of defanged them when we took down Elias. I was thinking maybe Elias was engineering things from inside jail, but obviously that story's been put on the back burner for now, and Root is the immediate threat, and she's a mystery. It's intriguing because I don't know what her objective is, other than learning more about the machine. But to what end? Like I said before, why does she want the machine, and what does she want to do with it? Yeah, the stuff that was not intriguing me at the beginning. There were a few things when we first introduced Turing, as we'll call her temporarily, at the start of the episode, that were just sort of rubbing me, that were not red flags, but sometimes you get a story presented to you and you're like, certain characteristics, certain plot notes feel off or lazy, or just a product of poor writing or something. They don't feel great. And I don't mean in an apprehensive way. You just go, oh, that feels uninspired. And Turing was very much this damsel in distress. She seemed very passive and weak and nervous. I felt like the choice of character name was deliberate, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together. Like, you don't name a character Turing just randomly. You do that because of Alan Turing, the father of modern computing, from Bletchley Park. I should have made the connections, but the thing, you're disappointed that the person of interest of the week is kind of meh, and then you realize it's an act, and then you go, oh, she was met on purpose. Sometimes you just have to trust your gut a little bit more, and I wasn't doing that this episode until later on when it started crystallizing. But I should have had my radar on earlier when we were introduced to her. When you realize it's all for show. She's having that meeting with the prosecutor patient of hers. It's all an act. It's staged at the window for Reese's benefit. How long has she been building up this clientele? It felt like she had a powerful and diverse clientele. She's obviously been at this for a while and seeming like a proficient psychiatrist. But no, it's all an act. So what's the end game here? What is Root up to? I'm intrigued. Fascinating new character. I wonder how much... Obviously, we're going to have more of her at the start of next season, but is season 2 all about dealing with Root? Or do we tie that storyline off early on? Do we put her on the back burner like we have with Elias? You know, the CIA storyline hasn't nearly come to a head yet. Although we did lose our ex-NSA agent here. I wish I knew her name. I'm totally blanking. It'll come to me during the edit or something. But she had a relationship with Nathan back during the early days of IFT when the machine was being sold to the government, and she saw the hubris, as she puts it, of the machine, of creating God, and the inherent power that this tool carries. And she cared enough about that to feel that the only logical solution was to destroy the machine. And she needs Finch's help to do that. But she also blames the machine for Nathan's death, and I want to dive into that story next season. Like, how did Nathan die, and why could it be perceived that the machine caused it? The NSA doesn't know about the irrelevant list. The NSA only knows about the relevant list, the potential terrorist attacks that can be headed off at the pass. But the irrelevant list, what Finch created, remains his secret now that she's dead. And that's obviously what the show's predicated on, the irrelevant list. But I do wonder, like, what is Root up to? Why? In any case, man, great season finale. It's been a slow burn of a season at times, but I feel like it's got some really interesting character and possibilities right now. I'm super curious to see how season 2 kicks off. How long does it take us to get Finch back? Is that something that we do in the first episode of next season, or is that going to take us 6 or 8 episodes to do? Let's change up the dynamic so that, we're obviously not going to be starting season 2 with Persons of the Week. We have to deal with the Finch being kidnapped of it all. So how long do we do that? And how much more do we learn about Root? Because, yeah, we set her up very interestingly earlier this season. Her introduction this episode is intriguing. The fact that you get Amy Acker to play her is promising. So much like Elias, I hope Root's kicking around for a while. In any case, can't wait for next week when we dive into season 2. Until then, everybody, take care, stay healthy. We'll see you soon. Cheers.